What will the world look like by the year 2050? That's a very common question that everybody's asking. It is not even possible to accurately predict what's going to occur in the coming years. However, we can make some assumptions about which country could possibly and maybe eventually rule the world based on current data and information. Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to another FTD Facts episode. My name is Leroy Kenton, and I'm going to be looking at 10 possible countries that could be ruling the world in the future. So this is going to be a hypothetical episode based on certain facts. Let's jump in. At number 10, we have the United Kingdom. With a total population of around 68 million and 3.2 trillion GDP in terms of PPP, purchasing power parity, the United Kingdom would drop from 9th to the 10th place as Germany overtook the country. At the same time, the UK will knock France out of the top 10 countries, making it one of the few developed economies to survive the test of time. This is the prediction that is being made for the United Kingdom when it comes to being a dominant power in the world. Now, moving on to number 9, Germany. Over the next 30 years, Germany will perform slightly better than the United Kingdom, and according to PwC analysts, Germany will be impacted by factors other than economic fundamentals. Instead, Germany's performance relative to certain emerging markets will play a significant role in its ranking among the top 10 powerful countries that could potentially run the world. In at the number 8 spot, we have Japan. Japan is in a similar position to Germany in that the strength of its economy is expected to decline a bit, but other countries such as Brazil and Mexico are expected to accelerate by the year 2050. Overall though, when it comes to Japan specifically, Japan is the world's 3rd largest economy today, and it's expected to drop out of the top 5 countries likely to rule the world by the year 2050, falling to the 8th spot, and that's why it's at number 8 in this episode. Moving on to the country at number 7, Mexico. Many people would be surprised to learn that Mexico's economy ranks alongside the United Kingdom as well as Italy. According to the International Monetary Fund, Mexico has the world's 11th highest GDP in terms of purchasing power parity. While it is true that organized crime exists in Mexico and that many Mexicans want to immigrate to the United States, an approximately equal number of Mexicans are actually leaving the United States and returning to Mexico. And they're doing this because they're drawn to the economic opportunities in their home country of Mexico. Mexico has the largest auto plant in the Western Hemisphere, and Bombardier manufactures aircraft components there as well. So there's a whole lot of opportunity in Mexico, and that's why it's at number 7. Now, moving on to number 6, Russia. Russia should definitely not be underestimated. It has nearly twice the land area of the United States, as well as it's a bigger country than Canada. The two countries of Russia and the United States control more than 90% of the world's nuclear arsenal. Russia's military forces are larger than those of France, Germany, Italy, and Japan combined. Experts believe that as the world transitions to natural gas, Russia has positioned itself well in comparison to other economies. Furthermore, as seen in recent years, Russia has been gradually diversifying its economy to avoid relying solely on natural resources for its growth. Coming in at number 5, let's talk about Brazil. Brazil has an estimated GDP based on its purchasing power parity of around $3.7 trillion. And it has an annual average growth rate of 2.5%. So we can see why Brazil is number 5. It's definitely a big contender of one of the countries that could definitely rule the world. Brazil was named a market that overcame challenges and ultimately succeeded in combining global best practices with flexible adaptation to local business and consumer environments. The failure to combat political scandals as well as rampant corruption could definitely be a setback. Nonetheless, a more diverse economy as well as an increased foreign investment may allow Brazil to overtake some of the world's largest economies today. The country coming in at number 4 is Indonesia. The GDP PPP of Indonesia is expected to climb to around 10.5 trillion by the year 2050. While it has significant material hard power, Indonesia has some characteristics that set it apart from the rest. Despite economic and political challenges, Indonesia has demonstrated its growing global influence. Even before the pandemic struck China, many companies were actually leaving China in search of greener pastures in neighboring countries. And because of this, well, it had some good results for Indonesia. Indonesia attracted more offshore jobs from China. And even before that, Indonesia caught the attention of financial analysts worldwide. Coming in at number 3 spot, let's take a look at United States, or should I say America. Americans are broadly optimistic about the country's future over the next 30 years, but more pessimistic when it comes to specific issues such as the country's place in the world, the cost of healthcare, as well as the strength of the United States economy. Overall though, 6 out of 10 adults believe that the United States will be less important in the world by the year 2050. According to PwC researchers, mass education could play a significant role in America's decline. Now, even though the United States ranks near the top of the OECD in terms of public education spending, the results have been under par. And if the United States and other countries improve education by embracing technological change, new job opportunities could emerge. However, it may not be enough to overcome the world's 2 richest economies, India and China. Either way, United States is still a very powerful contender for nations that could run the world. Moving on to number 2, India. India has an estimated future GDP PPP of 44.1 trillion, which is a big increase from its current 11.665 trillion GDP. It is a sign of the times that even Kellogg's has established itself as one of India's largest foreign brands. Although projections show that it will outperform every other economy except China, figures show that the average income will be lower than in other countries. According to the report, India's GDP trajectory over the next 30+ years is completely different from its overall GDP progression. And this shows that while strong population growth can be a key driver of GDP growth, it can also make raising average income levels a lot more difficult. However, while the global economy is expected to slow over time, India will definitely be an exception, with growth remaining higher for longer. Coming in at the number 1 spot, China. It is expected that China will be the most powerful country in the world by the year 2050. From the World Bank to the United Nations to Goldman Sachs to the European Union, many organizations, financial institutions, and governments have predicted this for some time. China definitely won't grow by remaining as isolated as it has been for many years. Instead, China will expand by opening its markets to foreign companies such as General Motors and even Tesla. Since engaging in a trade war with the United States back in the year 2017, China has embraced market-oriented reforms, allowing for greater foreign direct investment. Ultimately, despite geopolitical tensions and trade disputes, it's strongly believed that China will definitely be the dominant country. So there you have it, guys. This was a look at 10 countries that could possibly rule the world, especially by the year 2050. Let me know down below in the comments section which other countries you thought would be on this list. Sound off down below, and if you did enjoy this one, leave a big thumbs up, guys. And thanks for hanging out with me. If this is your first time here, by the way, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. That way you can hang out with me in future episodes. Until next time, stay awesome, stay educated, and I'll see you soon.